Mm. Hi my loves, welcome back to the channel. In today's video I bring to you my November book favorites. So for those who aren't following my Instagram, I highly recommend you do. There's juicy stuff on there. I started a series last month on my IGTV called My Book Favorites. Now that a month has passed from that, I feel like I'm gonna do it every other month because I'm not finishing all my books in 1 month. This book that we're gonna talk about is part of a series, but the first book I mentioned in my October book favorites, and I actually finished that in a month, and I was like, yes, go me. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Some of the books I mentioned are The Elite by Kira Cass, The Mastery of Love by Don Miguel Ruiz, A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle, and Ask and It Is Given by Esther and Jerry Hicks. So in the second book, she gets accepted into the Elite, which is the selection but down to 6 girls. I'm on chapter 19, so I'm not through the whole book, but so far it is so good and I can't get my hands off it. I love reading this before I go to bed because I've been trying to implement the habit of not going on my phone before bed, like at least like a half hour to an hour. It's kind of hard, but I'm getting there, and with this book it definitely can work one way or another. So pretty much in this book, like I said, the lead is 6 girls. The selection starts off at 35, and America is one of the chosen elites, and she comes into a lot of conflict with 2 of her loves. An old lover that she still has some feelings for, his name is Aspen, and Maxon, which is the prince that she is slowly but surely falling in love with. So it's an interesting book. So the second book that we're going to be talking about, A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle, I actually have had this probably since like August, but I bought like 6 books when I bought this one, so I didn't really get to read it right away. But this book is such a good purchase. It's all about awakening or life's purpose. So in the book, Eckhart Tolle breaks down the reality of our so-called home and how it's actually a destructive place built on destructive beliefs and block us from our full truest potential. So he discusses the ego, what the ego is, how it affects our daily lives, and how the ego really isn't our enemy, how the ego is just not on our side. But in reality, the ego is here to help us learn. It's another teaching tool that is a part of us. We are our ego, and we learn from it. And Tolle discuss the connection with our emotions and how our emotions aren't really our emotions. They don't identify us. It is definitely one of my top 5 favorites. And the third book that I'm going to be talking about is Ask and It Is Given, Learning to Manifest Your Desires by Esther and Jerry Hicks. Pretty much the whole book is just about the law of attraction and how the law of attraction creates our reality. What I like about Esther and Jerry Hicks is that they do talk about the science behind it. They talk about how living in the now, the present moment, feeling good, can create everything you've always wanted, and how that's the key to really everything. They talk about intuition, the power of breath, meditation, mindfulness, and so much more in this. And my favorite part about their book, and really just any book in general, but in their book they specifically state how you only hear what you are ready to hear. And I think that is so important to realize, because as we progress to who we want to be in this lifetime, we go through levels of awakening and we go through levels of maturity and growth, and how there's certain things we have to learn with each step of growth. So everything that we read, we're not processing. Some of it's going in one ear and out the other, while others stay within us, and I think that's really cool. This is the second time I'm reading this, so I find that really cool because I am learning new things, and yeah, I just find that really interesting. And the fourth and final book that we're going to be discussing is The Mastery of Love by Don Miguel Ruiz. And I mentioned his 4 Agreements book in the first video, and I literally stressed to y'all that it was so good and I highly recommend it. So in this book, he pretty much just breaks down that in order to have self-love and just feel love and beauty in general, we have to express that, because what you give out, you receive. And you guys can find out more about that in my law of attraction video. I'll have that link down below. My favorite part about this book is that he immediately starts off about the mind and how the wounded mind begins in childhood with our parents, their beliefs that they grew up on, and how that is preached upon us. And rather than us finding our own beliefs as children, we just immediately become conditioned to theirs. And that's really important to just remember, especially when you're talking to people. You might not even be talking to who they actually are. And I really think that's important to recognize, are your beliefs or are they your parents or someone else's belief? Alright, so those are all the 4 books that I'm loving this November. And if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and turn on that bell for notifications for the next upload. I'll see you guys next time. Love you.